Hello and welcome to another anime series review. So this is going to be Junji Ito Maniac, Japanese Tales of the Macabre. Came out in 2023 on Netflix. And yeah, this is basically just a bunch of adaptations of Junji Ito short stories. And as a huge fan of Junji Ito, I had to check this out. So what I'm going to do is basically what I've done for other series, in the sense that I'm going to watch an episode and then immediately give my feedback on it. So I haven't seen any other episodes other than this first one. I have read I've pretty much read every single thing from Junji Ito, I believe. So I don't think there's going to be anything that I have not read that is going to get adapted. But we'll see. Maybe they've added in some anime exclusive episodes. I don't know. But we start off with the strange Hikizuri siblings, The Seance. I will say this was a really weird story to start off for the first episode. I don't know, you would think you would want to start off pretty strong. Don't get me wrong, like I enjoy the Hikizuri siblings. There's two stories. Actually, I think there's three. I think a third one came out sometime this year, but I haven't read it. But there's The Seance, and then there's Narumi's boyfriend. It's kind of interesting that they started off with The Seance, because The Seance is actually the sequel, or the second one in this family. Narumi's boyfriend is the first one. And we actually start off with kind of like a little Easter egg for Narumi's boyfriend. So anyone who's watching this who hasn't seen the manga itself, you'll be kind of confused on why we have the Hikizuri siblings burning a mannequin. Like, that just seems kind of out of place, and it never comes up again in this entire episode. It's because that has to do with Narumi's boyfriend. That's a huge plot point in Narumi's boyfriend. I'm not going to spoil it, just in case anyone wants to go check it out themselves. I will kind of say that I wish they had adapted that one rather than The Seance. I don't know, I think Narumi's boyfriend is a good setup into introducing this family. So yeah, we have the Hikizuri siblings. We have Kazuya, the eldest son. He's 19. We have the eldest daughter, Kinako. She's 18. We have the second son, Shigori. He's 16. We have the second daughter, who is Narumi. She is 14. We have the third son, Hitoshi, who is 10. And we have the third daughter, Misako, who is 8. And the best way I can describe this family would be Junji Ito's take on the Addams family. Only, unlike the Addams family that actually seems to care about each other, the Hikizuri family doesn't. They kind of treat each other like crap. But yeah, let's just kind of give a good summary of this. So like I said, we started off with the burning of the mannequin, so we'll skip past that. And we have Kazuya, and he is saying goodbye to all his family members because he's going to leave for the day to go to work. So there's this kind of ritual where every time Kazuya is going to leave for work, everyone comes out and they say goodbye and they thank him for going to work. And then we immediately cut to him just sleeping on a park bench. And it turns out that he doesn't actually go to work, he just fakes it, because the family has inherited a lot of money, so there's no need for him to work. The only reason why he does that is just to kind of drill it into his younger siblings that you can't be a lazy layabout. You have to, work, and yeah, you just can't stay home all day. But it's just kind of funny because he's being a lazy layabout. But as he does this, he sees Sachio. She is a beautiful woman who is taking photos of this lake, and Kazuya immediately just becomes attracted to her. And it turns out that she's trying to take spirit photography. A lot of kids have drowned in this pond, and she's trying to capture, spirits onto pictures. And so Kazuya's like, well, like, my mansion is pretty mysterious. There's probably plenty of ghosts there. Why don't you come back and check it out? And Chio's like, okay. I will say that it's she kind of gives in a little bit too quickly in this adaptation. In the manga, I mean, she puts up a little bit. Oh, I don't want to say she puts up a little bit of resistance, but she's kind of like a little bit wary. And then Kazuya has to basically say, hey, don't worry, like, I'm not a threat or anything like that. Like, and he has to kind of explain his house a little bit before she comes. So I don't know. This one just makes her seem like she's like too easily. What's the word I'm looking for? It basically looks like she can find herself into deep trouble pretty quickly. But she shows up, and she starts taking pictures of everything. And of course, that's when the second brother, Shigeru, starts flirting with her. And of course, Chichio is completely ignoring all this, but Kazuya is watching this and he's getting pissed off because he's the one that's attracted to this girl. He's the one that brought her back so he can kind of woo her. And now here's his brother trying to steal from him in a sense. And she takes photos. She ends up leaving. And then during dinner, Kazuya just kind of rips into his brother and just calls him fat, calls him disgusting to watch, just pretty much lays into him how he's loud and always disobeying him. And then that's when the youngest sibling, Misako, starts crying. She wants to see her mom. Basically, seeing Tsuchiyo come and taking photos of the graves and stuff like that made her miss her mom. So that's when Kazuya decides to hold a seance. And he wants Tsuchiyo to show up so that she can be a witness. So Tsuchiyo shows up. She brings her boyfriend, who is in college, and they hold a seance. Of course, Kazuya is like pissed off at the fact that Tsuchiyo has a boyfriend. And during the seance, Shigeru starts acting really weird, and he starts vomiting this weird substance. And they think it's ectoplasm. And he starts being possessed by the spirit of their father, and he starts laying it to Kazuya and says how you're not working, you're just being lazy, you're faking it, you're not being nice to your siblings, you're treating them like crap. So from now on, Shigeru is going to be the eldest. He's going to be the one running the family. And of course, Kazuya gets pissed off and he runs outside and he kicks over this gravestone that belongs to his parents. And meanwhile, we have Tsuchiyo. And earlier, she has been developing photos that she took. And she sees that there's a lot of spirits at the siblings' mansion. But there's a lot of spirits actually coming out of the third son, Hitoshi. And while they were at the seance, her boyfriend took some of the ectoplasm with him. Like he snuck some of it out so he can run tests to see what exactly it is. Meanwhile, Misako is upset that their father showed up, but their mom didn't. So she's playing with this ectoplasm. She believes that eventually it might morph into their mom. But she realizes that it's not. Instead, it's starting to become like really moldy and hard. So Shigeru decides to hold another seance. And he wants Tsuchiyo to show up, but to leave her boyfriend behind because he just gets in the way. And so he sends Kazuya to go get her. And as he's on his way there, Tsuchiyo is talking to her boyfriend. And he says, yeah, I ran tests on the ectoplasm. It was nothing but wheat flour. So they were faking it. They were just trying to dupe us. And of course, Tsuchiyo gets pissed off. And Kazuya shows up, says, hey, like, we're about to hold another seance. We want you to witness it again. And she kind of lays it into him, like, why would you lie about the seance? You're nothing but a bunch of fakes. It's nothing but wheat flour. And I never want to see you again. Leave and don't ever come back. Kazuya comes back home. He starts laying into Shigeru. Starts saying, like, you really got me, huh? Like, you were faking it. You weren't really possessed by dad. Don't play dumb. And he starts beating up on his younger sibling. And, of course, Shigeru is, like, trying to beg him to stop. He says, if you're going to kill anyone, kill him. And he grabs Hitoshi and kind of points at him. And Kazuya tells Hitoshi to move out of the way, but Hitoshi doesn't. Hitoshi just kind of stands there with like this blank expression on his face. And all of a sudden, something weird starts coming out of his mouth. And it starts turning into like this gold smoke. And the smoke forms into the face of their father. And the smoke starts chasing them through the house. They rush outside where the giant smoke, once again, like is the face of their father, stares down at them, and then goes into the knockdown gravestone that belongs to him and his wife. And then Hitoshi kind of comes out, and he's like, hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening? And everyone freaks out and tells them to stay away from them. And that's how it ends. So my thoughts on it was, I liked the episode. I looked up the reviews for it, and it looks like it's gotten a lot of terrible reviews. I personally I like the stories that deal with the Hikazuri siblings, Just because, again, it reminds me very much of the Addams Family, which I'm a huge fan of. The original Addams Family TV series is one of my favorite series of all time. Like, it's up there behind Hogan's Heroes as my favorite. So I love that family. And to see Junji Ito's take on it, I don't know if he was consciously trying to do an Addams Family like take, or if it just happened to kind of come across that way. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities with this and the Addams Family, minus the fact that here the siblings kind of treat each other like crap, whereas in the Addams Family, everyone kind of treats each other with respect and love and stuff. But I like their stories. I just think it was a very poor decision to start off with this because, I don't know, I think there are stronger episodes to really start off when it comes to Junji Ito. I guess maybe they want to show something that's kind of dark, but not completely like graphic or terrible. Like, this is more of like a comedic horror. So maybe they wanted to ease people in. I have no idea. I don't know why you would want to start off with the seance, especially why you would want to do the seance before Narumi's boyfriend, because Narumi's boyfriend is like a better introduction to all these characters, I think. I don't know. I maybe would have started with, maybe Tomei. Tomei would be like a good start, like Tomei's first story. Maybe start with the Hanging Balloons. Like, that's one of my favorite Junji Ito story. I love that one. Maybe start off with The Woman Next Door. That's another really good short story that I really enjoy. That one is like creepy. There's no comedic bits, but it's not overly graphic or anything like that. In terms of the voice acting, I thought it was really good. I will say that I am doing Japanese audio. I'm not one of those people that I prefer Japanese dubs over English dubs. In fact, I actually kind of like English dubs more. I know that's kind of like blasphemous for me to say, but I enjoy watching my anime rather than reading my anime. But when it comes to reviews, I feel like I gotta review it the way it was originally intended. So I gotta go with the original audio. So the original Japanese voice acting I thought was really good. All the voices fit the characters. Just the acting was really good, like the emotions and stuff. So yeah, A+ on the voice acting. The graphics itself was actually not that bad. There were some parts that might have been just a little bit weird, but overall, like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. So yeah, I liked the episode. But then again, I'm probably one of the few people that actually care about the Hikizuri siblings, because I know a lot of people were kind of hating on this episode. At least after like I said, after I watched it, I kind of looked at just some of the scores, and it looks like it's gotten some pretty terrible scores. So I'm assuming a lot of people didn't care for it. I actually kind of liked it. I just think it was a very poor start. Like, you don't want to introduce people to Junji Ito with this story. There are way better stories out there just to introduce Junji Ito. Like, I'll say the siblings are probably not one of his weakest, but they're not scary at all. They're just a little bit more like dark comedy. Like, they're basically just Junji Ito's take on the Addams Family. So yeah, again, I don't know why they would choose this one. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, but I liked it. I just think it was a very poor decision to start off with this one. I would have, like I said, I would have gone with Tomei, or maybe The Lady Next Door, or Hanging Balloon, something like that. I would not have started with the Hikizuri siblings. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later.